3 Christmas sublimation projects. Let's go. Today I'm going to show you guys 3 different sublimation projects using the Christmas Sublimation Bundle Volume 2. So we have this amazing sublimation bundle that is fully loaded with Christmas designs. Whether you guys are going to be selling products like making tumblers or Christmas ornaments, or maybe you're going to be making them for yourself. So this is a great bundle to get started with. It is almost $300 in value and it is $19. Now keep in mind these bundles are time sensitive, so once the time runs out, they are gone. So you can still purchase these, but they'll be back at full price. But like I said, you guys are getting $300 value for $19. You don't want to miss out. Whether you guys are going to be making throw pillows, coffee mugs, t-shirts, you name it, this thing is loaded. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through here really quickly and show you guys some of these. This is one of the ones that we're using today. So we're going to be putting that on a coffee mug. We're going to be using this tumbler bundle right here. It is loaded with snowman and Santa and all of the good things. So definitely make sure you guys check that one out. And then we're also going to be making these really fun Christmas ornaments. So I want to show you guys how to personalize, whether you guys are going to be gifting these to somebody, making them for yourself, or this is going to be an item that you're going to sell this season. This is amazing because you can really personalize this down to mom and dad and one kid. You could have mom and kids. I mean, you can have whatever you want to do with this. And it matches lots and lots of different skin tones. All you can really see is the back with the hair and then the hands. So you've got a few different colors there. So I'm really excited about that. And I just think it is so cute. And there's a few different color options from green and red and all of that. So I'm going to show you guys how you would personalize and use those over in Canva. So if you guys are just now getting into sublimation, this would be a great bundle to start with. Now keep in mind, even if you don't have a sublimation printer, you can still do print and cut with printable HTV vinyl. You could do stickers with these things, all sorts of fun stuff. So definitely don't feel like you're missing out if you don't have a sublimation printer. Over in Canva, that's where I like to design these out. You could definitely feel free to use whatever software you'd like. You could bring these into Cricut Design Space or Silhouette Studio. If you guys are a Gold Plus member, you could use our software Designscape as well. So Canva, you could definitely do the free resources, and that's why I like to use this because a lot of people have access to it, including our bronze and silver access members. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off with a blank canvas. You can see I've already designed mine out. I did a few different, I've got a few different colors of hair here, so you guys can kind of see that there. I even added the Santa hat here on the little boy. So let me show you how you're going to do it. So when you open up Canva, you want to start off with a blank canvas. I like to work with an 8.5 by 11. Looking back, I probably would actually want to work on this with 11 by 8.5 because it's horizontal, which you can see I'm still doing it here because I want to show you it works either way. All right, so what we're going to do is we'll start off with mom. So you're going to bring in the pieces that you need. So you'll go through those folders and you're going to pick out your pieces. You're going to have one labeled baby, you're going to have one labeled woman, you're going to have one labeled man and kid. Now keep in mind you can size these up to make your kid however big you need to. So don't stick with what you have. You're going to need to move these pieces anyways. So you can pick however you need the kids to be, all right? So this one here is woman. So say for example, you could use women a few times. So if I have teenagers, I may use all of the women ones, or men and whatever. So that way they're a little bit bigger. So feel free to use these. Even the women you can use as a kid. You can size these down, all right? So we're gonna take our very first little pajama, if you will. There's multiple colors, red. This one says Merry Christmas. You could have them without. So then the next piece you're gonna bring in is your skin tone. So pick whichever one is gonna work best for you. And then you're going to size this to fit. Now some of these pieces will actually just kind of already fit right up against these, and some of these you just need to simply play around with them until you get them to where you need them to be. So you can see, boom, that fit perfectly there. I already started moving that pajamas around, and if you do that, you may have to size those, but they will fall into place perfectly, as you can see there. Now, once I have figured out these are my 2 pieces I want together, to make it easier for me, I go ahead and select them both, and then I hit group right away. So that way, I'm not having to worry about fussing around and messing with pieces. So there's mom, right? So let's go ahead and go in here with dad. We're gonna bring in his body here. So we'll go ahead and size those. See, you see how dad just went together? So sometimes it's going to work absolutely perfect. And then we'll size dad out so that way he matches mom. So we'll bring him up here. And then we're gonna go ahead and group those two pieces together just as I did. And then we're gonna go ahead and keep moving forward. So for my baby here, I brought in the baby bodysuit I wanted. And then here is that little baby body. So we're gonna go ahead and pop that right there. And then we will group these two together and then move that one up. And then let's go ahead and go into the kids. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up, but I'm gonna do the same thing. Now, if you want to go in and add hair in here, you would bring in the color of hair that you want. So for example, I'm used to wearing a messy bun. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that up here and then just size it to fit. Now, as you can see, they start out with the blonde hair here depending on the skin tone. So I'm actually going to leave that for two of the kids. And then for this one here, say I want to turn it into a girl, I'm going to go over here and add a little girl haircut. Just like that. And if I need to size these up to where I can actually see them a little better, I can do that, and that way I can size them down in just a bit. So say for example, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna select those two together and hit that group. I'm gonna go ahead and add this little bit of a curly hair to our baby here. Perfect. Same thing, I'm gonna go ahead and select those pieces together and then I'm going to group them. Now you can always do all those together. Bring in the bodysuit, bring in the hands and the head, and then put the hair on there, and that way you have those. And then you can see I have that little Santa hat here. So where I didn't add any sort of hair color there, I did add a little Santa hat, just like that. Now, the first time I actually did this on Canva, when I first brought them in, just kind of dragging and dropping, they actually did come in much bigger. So it just depends on how it is inside of Canva for how they're going to work. Now we're going to go ahead and put these people together, all right? So we're going to go ahead and get mom. We're going to get our baby, which I'm going to make my baby a little bigger. We're going to put the hand up there to mom's. And then we're gonna bring dad in and we're gonna attach him in there. So we're gonna go ahead and get his hand in here. And then we're gonna go ahead and start to bring in these ones here. So for this one, I actually did the girl on the opposite side, but that's okay, just to show you. I'm gonna intertwine this hand into dad's. So basically what you wanna do is pay attention to those hands and how they're connecting. So if you need to, you could go to position, move backwards, and that way their hands are going to set perfectly. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and grab our last little kiddo here. I'm gonna go ahead and size this one out. Once you have all of your pieces, you're gonna go ahead and select everything. We're gonna group one last time, and that way they are completely together. Once you have them grouped together, at that point, you can go ahead and size them out. I had a comment recently of how do you know the size inside of Canva? So when you hold on to it, you notice it's gone, but if I go to hold on to it and you hold down, you can see that size right here on the right-hand side. So just whatever size your ornament is, that's what you wanna do, is size that down. So if you're gonna be doing multiple of these, you wanna go ahead and create them all on one sheet and then print them out. That way you can save space. So for example, I put both of my, the ones for my mugs on here, as well as my ornaments, because they're all aluminum. It's the exact same thing. So I was able to print those together. So be mindful. So if these were going on glass, I wouldn't want to print them on the same sheet as the aluminum. But what you could do is first print out the ones with the glass, then you could reload this the opposite way to where the printer will suck it in here, then print these out so they end up on the same page as well. So just another tip from me. For our first project, we're gonna go ahead and make our tumblers. So I've just got a white tumbler here. You can get them in glitter, iridescent, and all of those things. So I'm using my Heat Press Nation Signature Series. It is 365 for 70 seconds. That's my sweet spot. And then since this is a full wrap, we will rotate. So let's go ahead and prep this up. So whenever I print these out, I like to go ahead and use my paper trimmer to trim it all the way around. So all I simply do is just line this up with that paper trimmer and then just cut off all of that excess. Once you have it trimmed down, it should look something like this. So now what you're gonna do is you wanna make sure that this is nice and clean, and then we are gonna go ahead and tape it down. You wanna make sure that you remove your lid and that this is completely cleaned off. I like to use a microfiber cloth, and then we're just gonna go ahead and line this up and get it in the center and start taping it down. So what I like to do is get one side, depending on the design and how tight I need it to get, I'll go ahead and put one side and start to pull with that tape, just to get that to go together a little bit tighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and start here. And then, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and pull tight. You could come back and add any tape here in just a bit. So we'll do the same thing with the top. Now, depending on how it is, you guys normally see I just put 1, 2, and 3, but with this one, I know there's probably gonna be a little bit of a seam, so I'm trying to get that as tight as I can. So like I said, lid off, 365, 70 seconds. I like to make sure my tape side is to the side or even completely upside down, and then we're gonna press for 70 seconds. All right, so it is about to beep and we're gonna get ready to rotate it. So you want to make sure that you completely rotate. Usually I try to make sure that the opening is over here, but it's over here. So I'm gonna make sure I rotate that enough to where the part that was up is gonna be under now. So we can make sure that it has sublimated all the way around. So now we're gonna go ahead and let it press again for 70 seconds. All right, so it is fixing to beep for the last time. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out this time. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it out, and I like to remove it right away. So we're just gonna go ahead and start to peel this down the center. You could definitely just try to get as much as you can off of here. So sometimes because of the way we tape it, it's just a little bit tricky. So I'm gonna go ahead and start peeling all this off. All right, so here we go. Now I knew I was gonna get a little bit of a seam because when I trimmed with my paper trimmer, I went a little too far. So here we go though, moment of truth. Look at those colors. That snowman is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So you guys can see a little bit of that there, but that tree should line up perfectly so it would look like a whole tree. So this should be a full wrap where you cannot tell where the seam is. So be careful with that paper trimmer. But like I said, look at those colors. It is absolutely gorgeous. You guys can see that top. But if I was more careful, because I even came in with my scissors to try to fix a piece and I clipped way too far in there. But all of this will line up good, that tree and everything, but those colors are just so, so good. So we're gonna set this aside, let it cool down before we apply our lid. Next up, we are going to do this like camping style cup is what I always call it. It is a travel coffee mug, if you will, has that lid and you guys can travel with it. So this is also the same material as the tumbler. And what's really cool is with this one, it has the mug attachment. So we're gonna go ahead and swap out. So I'm going to, you could either completely let this cool down. I'm gonna turn it off for a second so that way I can undo it. You have these little knobs here, which I'm gonna put my heat gloves back on for. I would highly recommend that you completely let it cool down. If you're going to have, if it's gonna be warm in any sort of way, like mine, I would set it on something that is heat resistant because it is going to be hot. Like I said, I highly recommend that you wait until it completely cools down. So I'm using my heat gloves here, being very safe, and we're gonna go ahead and swap it out. So over here on the side, it actually has like a little plug here. I'm just going to unplug. So you're gonna unscrew it and then it's just going to pop out of there. And then I'm gonna pull off that last one. There we have it. So we're just going to simply squeeze this and pop it out. So just kind of hold on to this, set it aside, and now we're gonna attach this one. So we're gonna come over here. You can place this wherever you want to. You can see those holes kind of line up. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get mine in the middle here. And so we'll go ahead and start to attach it first. So we're gonna line this up and then reattach those screws. All right, I'm gonna remove my glove and then we're gonna go ahead and re-plug this guy in and then we're just gonna turn it back on. All right, so we're gonna let this reheat and then before you actually turn it on, you really want to adjust this and make sure everything's gonna be good. So I know I need to undo this a little more. You should not be having to force your press closed. That's how you know it's just too tight. There we go, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and prep this guy up. So that's heating up. I'm using the exact same temperature. I won't have to rotate it because the designs is going to be on each side, but it should cover everything. For these mugs, you can do like I'm doing, just a design on the front, or you could do the design on the front and back, or you can even do full wraps with these as well. So we're gonna go ahead and just trim these down, and that way I can tape them on. Something like this would be great to fill up with candy, maybe a gift card, and gift to somebody at the office. All right, so what we're gonna do, simple. We're just gonna take our heat tape here, and then whichever way that you hold your coffee mug, this is going to be the front. So if I held it in this hand, this is going to be the front. For me, I hold it on the right. I wanna have that snowman in the front, so I'm going to do that now. So we're just gonna go ahead and get this guy taped down. And I'm just putting one piece on each side. Making sure we're pulling nice and tight. We're gonna flip it over and tape. Once again, make sure that your mug is nice and clean. So you should have something that looks like this. So I believe we are back to 365 for 70 seconds. So what we're gonna do is we're going to load this guy in here. And then we're just going to press. Now, if you guys have just a mug press, you can definitely use that. I'm not too sure if these fit into the Cricut mug press. I have not tried it just yet. If I did, I don't remember. I've sublimated so many mugs. I mostly sublimate in the Cricut mug press is the 11 and 15 ounce mugs. All right, so I'm gonna go and let this guy go 365 for 70 seconds. Now, while that one's cooking, this guy's completely cooled down, so all you simply have to do is add the lid. If it includes a straw, then you're ready to add that as well. These are great items to make for yourself, gift to somebody, or even sell. All right, here we go. It's beeping, it's ready. So we're gonna go ahead and pull off. We're gonna open it up. I've got my gloves here, and so we're gonna go ahead and peel. Look at that snowman, so cute. Let's flip it over and get the other one. And there we have it. We have the cute little Santa on the back. Look at how stinking cute that is. Adorable. Like I said, look at how cute that snowman is. Absolutely adorable. You could just do one side. I did both so that way you could see two different designs out of that bundle. They are so, so cute. And this year is very trending for that retro look. This reminds me of those really cool designs you would see at grandma's house on pillowcases, quilts. And it's not just grandma's house, but it's just that feeling, I guess, that comfort, especially reminds me of back to my childhood and the designs I used to see, because these are like hand painted or hand drawn, but I really love the way that this came out. It is so cute. Once again, I think it would be great to fill up with candies, a gift card, great for a teacher's gift, passing out at the office, dirty Santa, you name it. We're using the Cricut Easy Press today. I have it at 400 degrees, and when it comes to that time, you can do anywhere between 60 seconds to 80 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and do 75 seconds since I'm using the Cricut Easy Press. You can obviously do these with your bigger heat press. You could do multiple at one time, so if you're selling these for a business, or if you're making a bunch of them for the holidays, you could get a ton of these done at one time. So we're using this today just to show you that anybody can create these. So what we're gonna do is, I think this guy is ready to scoot out of here. We're not ready for the lid just yet, but let's go ahead and bring in that ornament and get ready to add on our design. So I actually printed out in two different sizes because I was trying to figure out which size was going to work best for me. So let me go ahead and trim around these and just see what I think here. Now for these Christmas ornaments, I'm using these ones here from Unisub. They come in 3 different pieces. There's actually a ribbon here laying around here somewhere. You have your aluminum blank here with the white. It's silver on one side. It's only one-sided because it comes with this really nice heavy-duty picture frame that actually has the adhesive and everything. So these are from Unisub. I'll have it linked down below. So what you can do to figure out your sizing to make sure how big you could really get this to go. Now look, because if I actually put this on here, I can see that it's gonna fit on here either way, right? So this one here is my bigger design. So if I actually go on top of it, I'm taking up too much headspace there. So if I go here, I can just hover with this frame here to figure out where my placement is. Now there's tons of ornaments, different shapes, different sizes, to where it's just this piece here, and that would be okay to have it much bigger. All right, so now we're ready to go. We're going to take our aluminum piece here. The white is gonna go down. So we're just going to line this up and get it centered over our design here, and then we're going to tape it down. All right, so now that we have this taped down, we are ready to go. I'm kind of peeking through here just to make sure everything looks good, and it does. So I've got my Cricut pad here. I've got a piece of parchment paper that I've already folded in half, so I consider this what I call my taco. We're gonna place it in there, fold this, and then we're gonna put the heat press on top. We're gonna go ahead and go on top of this. We're gonna hit go, so 400 degrees for 75 seconds. So you wanna keep nice, firm to medium pressure right here in the middle. We don't want to just have one side. We want to make sure that we are keeping nice, even pressure. I absolutely love making Christmas ornaments. It's one of my favorites to personalize. It's a great gift to give to somebody. You can hang them on your gifts, so it's almost like a gift tag as well. Include their photo. You could personalize them with their name. So for example, this right here, I forgot to mention, under each person, you could put their name underneath as well, just to personalize it even further, or you could add like the Thomases and things like that. All right, so here we go. We're going to carefully lift this. I'm gonna get my heat gloves back on, and here's where the magic happens. So we're gonna flip this open, and then we are going to peel. Look at those colors, they are so gorgeous. I love it so much. There we have it. I'm gonna bring it in so you guys can see that. Oh my gosh, it is adorable. Love, love, love the way that that came out. All right, so I went ahead and moved some stuff out of the way while we were letting this cool down so that way we can put this thing together. Just make sure everything is nice and clean. We're gonna go ahead and peel off this piece right here. So this protects our adhesive, if you will. And so now it's just as easy as lining this up inside, just like so. And then you're just simply going to press all the way around. And here we have it. How stinking cute is this? I love it so much. I'm going to confess, the first one I did, I accidentally chopped their heads off, so I had to go back in here, but it looks so, so good. I really love the way that that came out. For the final piece, we're just simply going to take the included ribbon. If you want to change it up and use your own ribbon, you can also do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this and tie it off. And there you have it. So cute. I love it. It is gorgeous. This one is very heavy. Not heavy enough to hang on your tree, obviously, but it feels expensive. So if you wanted to purchase these and make these, you could definitely bring that price up. Or if you're gonna make them for yourself, this is gonna look like you spent a ton of money. So definitely check these ones out. I hope you have enjoyed this. As you can see, there is our 3 projects. You can see that we were able to switch out that tumbler attachment, make a couple things there, and then personalizing those fun ornaments. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.